welcome back to another episode with me, Bellfire, and today we're back in Space Engineers, and... Hang... there we go. Okay. Sorry, OBS has gotten an update and the UI is completely different. And, okay, so far... I've planned where all the batteries are going to go. I haven't placed them yet. Because, well, that's a lot of batteries, and I don't have the patience to do that, at least not yet. Also, I want to go from compartment to compartment. So, like, I've almost finished the hangar. There still needs to be one more solar flower at least. So that is... 1, 2, 3 blocks away from the edge. Okay. No, I'm not going to build them yet. I'm just going to place where it's going to be resting. 1, 2, 3, fourth block. Yes, I know my inventory is full. There's a lot of components in a heavy armor block. Okay, then grab out these merge blocks. As you can see, I was using them earlier for figuring out where I'm placing the batteries. If I could not fly so low. And then last one right here. Okay, there we go. 7, here we are. There we are. And then now I need to fly all the way across. Well, no, I'll save that for once the second solar flower is built. And I will most likely build that outside on the hull, just so it's easier to disconnect. And when we're in space, so it's easier to move. So, okay, the next step is finishing off the fuel storage compartment, which will be, of course, in here. So, as of right now, I have, what, 6 huge deuterium tanks full of deuterium. And because this thing is a deuterium-based craft, that makes sense with 100,000... 120 million deuterium each. And, okay, hang on. I'm going to do the math real quick, because I'm curious. 120, that's 100, that's 1,000, that's million, times 12. Sorry, give me a second. That is... Hang on, I need to Google something. So that is 1,440,000,000 liters of deuterium. That is a massive amount of deuterium. So, why not add some more? Because we have the ability to add more deuterium, because we have a lot more space available. And yes, I will eventually, I'm not saying I won't, but eventually get to a point where I have more, what are these things called? fusion reactors. The 5 gigawatt fusion reactors. Which the output of switches from time to time. So, what I'm going to do is add a couple of large and small deuterium tanks. I'm thinking a couple of these, seeing if I can, in fact, hoping I can. I can. Wait. So, okay. Those are... If I rotate it... If I not that way. That. Other way. Yep. Then line it up with right here. I think that's in line. In line. Ugh. And I'll just do that for all of these to add more deuterium, because deuterium is a, I think, very reactive gas, so very explosive. And also control panel, flagship build and repair system, and flag repair. The reason I'm turning those off is so I can anyway, sorry, I'm just looking at stuff for tomorrow, my daily life tomorrow. Anyway, let's continue with this. Because this is definitely a good idea to have it on the outermost hull as well. And yes, I did just say the outermost hull. Because right on the other side of this wall here is outside. This wall here is outside, so if this compartment is breached, that's going to be a massive explosion that I will probably be unable to recontain. Which will be, what's the word I'm looking for? Fun, to say the least. Because this is a lot of deuterium. And I mean an insane amount. And yes, I know I don't need this much, but I'm doing it mostly for the fact that I don't want to have to worry about running out of fuel mid-flight in between any planet. Because I haven't experienced that, because either, well, no, I have when I was going to the moon, I think, in my first series before the reboot. Yeah. That's when I first had my, or that's when I had my first ever experience with running out of fuel. I was, if I'm remembering correctly, I wasn't completely out, but I was very, very close to being completely out. And that was not fun, because I thought I didn't have enough to land either the cockroach or the fire turtle, if I'm remembering the names of them correctly. Cockroach being the one with, which was the, or no, wait, that was the fire turtle, not the cockroach. It was two cockroach Mark 7s glued to, or cut in half then glued together like some pirate ship abomination, because that's what they, that's what faction they were from, was the pirate faction. I almost said pirate fraction. Okay, and then the next spot for a... Well, here, I'll go ahead and hook up all of the deuterium tanks into the deuterium system. Sorry. F, control panel, DEUTERIUM. Tank. Okay, let me go from you to you. Control click, save, then flag, ship deuterium tanks. I don't want and I want. Okay, now build and repair, turn that on. So now, yep, everything's on, or it should be booting up now. And here we go. Everything's being welded up. Which is perfect. So I will be back as soon as all this stuff is done welding, so I'll see you all then. Okay, sorry about the delay. I'm back now, and all of the deuterium tanks are done, and we have a total capacity, if I did my math correctly, of 1,692,000,000 liters of deuterium. And no, I won't be dealing in hydrogen. Well, I'll be dealing in a little bit of hydrogen because that's going to be for refueling stuff. So, before I forget, let me go ahead and add some hydrogen tanks, not deuterium because we already have those. Anyway, where are my hydrogen tanks? That's the only thing about playing games every 2 weeks. You get used to the controls, or where you have everything set up, and then you completely forget where everything is in each hotbar. And I don't think I have any, so... Where's the plus? That's the industrial one. Hydrogen tank, yeah. Hang on. Small, that's deuterium. That's hydrogen. Huh. Okay, well, anyway. Custom hydrogen tank? That's the thing? What's this thing? Air vent, oxygen, oxygen. Huh. Interesting. Okay, anyway. Let me get some steel plates. And is there enough room to shove? Yes, there is. I was going to ask if there's enough room to shove hydrogen tanks in between each set of deuterium, or at least the large deuterium tanks, and surprisingly there is. Accidental design, not flaws, but what would be the proper term for that? Because these aren't design flaws, these are design advantages. Or upsides. Accidental design upsides. Sure. Okay. So that is hydrogen, deuterium. We are missing oxygen. Which... Oxygen. That's where all the other deuterium stuff is. Or, not deuterium. hydrogen. Okay. So, if I go like that, that should be enough hydrogen, I think. Or oxygen, not hydrogen. And how many can I fit in between these two? Okay. Yeah, that... I'm going to do all of these alternating. Like so, but not on the outer end because that's where the wall will end up going. So anyway... And also, now that I think about it, to maximize my space for power cell storage here, there's going to be a wall here. Because, now that I think about it, after I place them down, naturally, these, the at least outer ones, need to be, what's the word I'm looking for? 3 thick instead of the rest, which are 2. Because there's going to be a wall, then an edge, so yeah. I mean, hey, if it works, right? So anyway, I need my piston out to place these 2. And yes, I'm doing... Every connection point to the ship will have a merge block, just simply for security, you could say. Or accident prevention, because these battery cells are not going to be light by any stretch of the imagination, and I do not want to see what happens if, say, one were to get knocked loose mid-flight, and we would have to do an emergency burn to slow down. Yeah, I don't want to see what that looks like. But I can imagine what it'll look like. That being a massive hole, if not several, through several sides of my ship. If not, it boring a hole all the way through, even though that's unlikely. I still could see it happening, and I don't want to be able to see that happening, so that's why there are so many merge blocks over there. It's just for security, because that amount of, what's the right word? Not explosives, but deuterium's... Well, oh yeah, the battery compartment's right next to the deuterium storage, so if one of those gets knocked loose, it winds up coming through 2 heavy armor walls and then blowing up a deuterium tank, then I am most likely going to explode. Anyway, I want excuse me. Ah, there we go. Okay. Flagship hydrogen tank, set, stockpile, yep, and show block and terminal. Flagship hydrogen tank, okay, and then the next one being... Flagship. flagship oxygen tank stockpile, save, and do not show in terminal. And let me guess, I'm generating no oxygen. Right? Okay, that makes sense. And as for the oxygen front, that I'm surprised by. I didn't think we had any oxygen in storage. Like, at all. Unless we have a sneaky air vent somewhere, which then that makes complete sense. But we don't. Oh, it might be from this grid here. Which I really need to think about tearing down sometime soon. Anyway, let me go ahead and refill my hydrogen tanks. Okay. Oh my lord, I realize what has happened. All the hydrogen just got flooded into the flagship. Or at least all the hydrogen that wasn't in the flagship before just did. So I need to put my balls into one of the flagship's hydrogen containers. Oh man, ow. Okay, well. Anyway. So now I know I need to be generating both hydrogen and more oxygen because we only have two oxygen tanks in the base, I think. Yeah, so I need to do a couple things actually. Turn on the miners again. Or the mining machines again. And then also add a vent or two so that the flagship can actually cope with its new oxygen demand. So let me go ahead and get the drilling system out of the way. And yes, I'm going to go look to see its progress so far. Into its cube over here. Or its second cube over here. And so far, so good. Okay. Anyway. With that going, that should be... That's generating hydrogen. How about oxygen? It is not. Okay. So with knowing that, let me go ahead and get a couple of vents going. And sure. Here. And no. Yes, this is what I need. Let me go ahead and dump everything. And then go into here, depressurize. Why am I saying these to depressurize? Well, one interesting thing about this game, which makes sense, you can suck oxygen in from the atmosphere. So now, if I look, it is slowly filling. That's because these two vents are sucking oxygen in through the or from the atmosphere and putting them into tanks. So that's why it's a good idea to start, or if you don't start, find some way to fill up a bunch of oxygen tanks without having to use ice. Because that's another way to get a whole bunch of oxygen, but a little bit more costly. Because ice can be used, or is mainly used for hydrogen, but it has its uses in modded games, such as the one I'm playing now. And I could go for a 3 gigawatt, but the hang on, give me a second. The Tokamaka, or Tokamak fusion reactor converts deuterium into helium by fusion deuterium nuclei. Within this fusion, an immense amount of energy will be released, but the efficiency is lower than that of the Stellarator, which is this thing, which is the one I'm using, which requires platinum. Oh boy. But anyway, I'm stealing some steel plates. Wait, hang on. That's 18. I have more than enough. And this thing's a 5x5 now that I see. Now that I actually look at it. Which, honestly, that's fine because... Hang on, let me get... I really like the way that looks. So, okay. Yeah, that's perfect. And yes, if I really wanted to, I do. I'm going to connect them all up with conveyor junctions. And if it can connect to another conveyor port, I will, with just regular conveyors, because I think the conveyor junctions in between each one of these can hook up to a hydrogen tank. So with that, I can just simply make it look more interconnected is the word I'm looking for. And basically the whole point of this thing is, yes, this is a lot of power that if I need to use it, I can. But I hope oh man, this one's in the way. Man, that's annoying. I'm hoping that this is going to take so long to grind down. Okay, well, while it's grinding, I don't think there's any game audio. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, that's right. The base requires this thing to run, doesn't it? Okay, this isn't good. I completely forgot that the base needs this thing to run. Oh wait, no, I do have audio. Wait. Wait. Oh, okay. I was worried for a second. I thought I wasn't recording myself. Okay, so I'm going to grind this down once at least one of these new reactors has been built. Oh boy, that could have been real bad. Because for those of you who don't know, having hundreds of blocks flickering on and then off because of lack of power is not fun. It is really not fun, and it is very taxing on your game. Even if you have an i9 processor with 64 gigs of RAM and a 3060 Ti graphics card. It is not fun to deal with. I'm telling you that now. Okay, but yes, my plan for these, before I accidentally interrupted myself, is that I'm going to connect the 2 reactors with a conveyor junction, then connect the conveyor junction to the hydrogen tank with a conveyor, with a basic conveyor block. And I'll do the same here up to that. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that amazing stuff. And hopefully next time I won't have to be dealing with the annoyance of low power. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed, and I will see all of you in the next episode. Bye, guys!